Hey guys, this is Danny Boy, so this is it. We are on Earth, using Garrison Tally. For the first part, this is kind of a two-parter mission. I'll be using the Claymore and the Hornet as my weapons of choice. And I will give you a final update on my build, I believe. And this was rough. This was definitely rough on the Vanguard. It was not terribly well suited to the Vanguard in terms of layout and just aggressive playstyle. Of all the missions, I would say there is indeed quite a high risk and quite a high reward for charge this time around. So, definitely harder this time than on my engineer, and that's saying something considering on my engineer it was the first time I ever did it. So I had an idea of what was coming. I didn't have a great idea, but I had an idea. Didn't know it perfectly or anything. I've only done it once. I mean, this is just an update on the build. If you'd like to see, if you don't have enough time to read, you like to see the tooltips in a bit more detail, just pause in between. But I didn't want this to take 5 minutes. So. And it really hasn't changed that much, I don't think, since you last saw it. But just to be sure, just in case, same thing that I did on my engineer on the last mission. I'm going to put points in fitness just because I have some spare points, so may as well. More health, more shields, more melee damage. But we will have plot. There'll actually be, between this episode and the next, there'll be an episode entirely dedicated to plot, just this one huge tie-up, loose ends sequence with all the party members in the middle of the two missions, so there'll be that. And there'll be a lot of plot in this mission as well, so I'll let you skip to the combat if you'd like. This is going to be a long one.
Commander, you've got a priority message from Admiral Hackett requesting to come aboard.
Permission granted.
Aye, Commander.
Commander?
Admiral?
Are you ready to bring the might of the galaxy to bear on the Reapers?
Yes, sir.
Then let's make sure the fleets are ready.
All fleets reporting in, sir.
Never before have so many come together from all quarters of the galaxy. But never before have we faced an enemy such as this. The Reapers will show us no mercy. We must give them no quarter. They will terrorize our populations. We must stand fast in the face of that terror. They will advance until our last city falls, but we will not fall. We will prevail. Each of us will be defined by our actions in the coming battle. Stand fast. Stand strong. Stand together. Hack it out. Shepard, the Sword fleets are ready to strike at the Reapers surrounding Earth. While they keep the enemy engaged, you and Hammer ground forces can take London.
London? Why aren't we hitting the Citadel directly?
Anderson can brief you on that. Admiral, how are you holding up?
We're ready to end this. But as you can see, the station's closed itself since it appeared over London.
Damn it. Gotta get the arms open to dock the Crucible.
Exactly.
But London is surrounded by Hades cannons. Hammer transports can't land while they're active. You'll lead a squadron of smaller shuttles. Infiltrate with a ground team to take out the cannons using heavy weapons. Hammer can land, and we'll set up a forward operations base.
I still don't see how we're getting to the Citadel from London.
The Reapers use this beam to transport humans, alive and dead, to the Citadel. From the FOB, Hammer will launch an all-out assault on the Citadel beam. Everyone who makes it that far will take the beam to the Citadel, then locate and activate the Citadel arm controls.
Once we see those arms, Shield Fleet will escort the Crucible to the... But timing will be critical. We don't have enough firepower to keep the Crucible safe for long.
Nothing's ever easy. No reason it should start now.
It's desperate. I don't even want to guess at our odds.
But this is the only plan we have. If we wait, the Reapers bleed us slowly. Conventionally, we can't defeat the Reapers without the Crucible. Get the Citadel arms open. Commander, whatever the cost, we'll do the rest.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to all of us.
Approaching Sol Relay, Commander. We're through the relay in 30 seconds. Alliance fleet reporting. Turian fleet reporting. Asari fleet's reporting.
Quarian fleets accounted for and ready.
Quarian fleet reporting. All fleets reporting in, Commander. Ready to engage on your command.
This is it, everyone. Be ready on my signal. Fire! On my command, engage the Reaper forces.
Roger that. All fighters on me.
Attack!
Acknowledge.
Breaking off. Preparing for descent. Commander. Be careful down there.
We'll be fine. Stay focused.
Aye, aye.
teams are away. Hammer's in position and waiting for you guys to clear a path. Normandy's rejoining Sword. Stay safe. I'll be back before you know it. I'll hold you to that. Normandy out.
We're closing in on the LZ, Commander.
How's it look?
Like hell? Take a look for yourself.
Sorry, Shepard. I know it isn't easy.
I barely even recognize it.
Shit! We got a lock. Hold on! Damn it!
Status.
That was the squad responsible for taking out that defense turret.
Who's on it now?
Nobody in the vicinity. All either deployed or shot down.
Drop us off.
Sir?
We have to take that thing out before Hammer can land.
Understood.
Change of plans, people. We're gonna take out that Hades cannon.
On foot? That'll be a challenge.
That downed shuttle would have been carrying heavy weapons.
Perfect. You heard the man. Once we're clear, make your way to the crashed shuttle. We'll search the wreckage for heavy weapons.
With you, Shepard.
Alright, here we go. Getting off the transport. So, the reason that this area isn't very congruent to Vanguard's is simply that it's very, very open. And enemies spawn everywhere. It's incredibly easy to be flanked, which is a deadly combination for a class that's designed to charge into the middle of large groups of enemies. Very easy to die. Now, a lot of this can be mitigated if you simply play defensively, but I simply will not play defensively. It's just not happening. At least not to a great extent. I like to be very aggressive on the Vanguard. The Claymore worked very well. It allowed me to just ensure that anybody that I charged on was going to die, and I really couldn't afford for them not to. I needed them to die. And its limited ammo was not a huge deal either. The Hornet, on the other hand, seemed to be pretty terrible. It seemed to do just almost non-existent damage against enemies, like right here. Now, part of that is because, and I think I talked about this a bit before on a different episode, but it seems like enemies on this final mission have a bit more health than normal, or it might just be that they have a lot of time to get armor buffs from Marauders. Cannibals have a lot of time to get armor buffs from Marauders, and a lot of times it seems like they had really big health regeneration bonuses from eating other cannibals, and I didn't really know, or rather didn't see them eat the corpses or anything, but it seemed like they had. It was kind of strange. Like even right there, my charge barely did any damage at all, my Nova did barely any damage at all. It was really just my shotgun that was doing all the damage this time around. And of course there's a huge freaking cannon of death, Hades cannon, that was rather disorienting some of the time. Not a huge deal though, just one more thing you need to worry about, really. And right now, you know, I'm checking radar, I want to see where guys are. And this seems to be a fairly good idea, hiding behind this big tank, but then again you need to worry about being flanked and everything else. And there's a brute over there. Just killed my party members. And for some reason, I'm not really paying attention to him. I will regret that decision. Grenade, brute, crap. And that's the end of me. Okay, that's attempt 1. Grenade on one end, brute on the other. No, I didn't realize the brute was there. I had no idea he was suddenly there. That was actually kind of a fun death, I have to say. Like, oh. Well, that sucks. But fortunately, I didn't have to repeat the entire sequence over again. I guess it saves halfway through. I guess once that brute spawns, it saves. So, that was fortunate. I would have been far more pissed if I had to do everything over again, because that was going fairly well, I'd say. But there's really not many situations worse than being stuck between a grenade and a brute. Maybe a grenade and a banshee or something. This brute just needs to die. Very small area to work in, and I'm not even concerned about the brute in the small area, I'm just concerned with the huge window allowing everybody in the world to shoot me. Because nobody likes me. That was determined long ago. The pull actually did some decent damage there, surprisingly. I do now have it spec'd for not only double pull, but spec'd for lift damage or whatever it's called. I will actually get decent use out of pull throughout this mission, because there really are just times that I can't afford to charge. Or, more importantly, I can't afford to die. I do not want to die again. And it's just too risky. I mean, if you look at my radar, there's like 5,000 guys out there. Easily 10. Maybe not 5,000, but easily 10. Come to me. And even that, I mean, that was so dangerous. I was kind of hoping they would just close on me and I could systematically rip out their faces using melee sank kills. Sank, yes, sank kills. Melee sink kills. But that wasn't happening. Another instance of I can't charge over there. I just can't. There's too many guys. I'll just die. Can't afford it. I don't know why I didn't just use a pull there. Saving it for him, I guess? Yes, he's still alive, you idiot. There you go. Fly away. Oh, and I'm about to learn a new trick that I just didn't think to do. Pretty soon, I believe. Because I've never had the opportunity to do it before. I've just never used pull that much before. You'll be seeing it in just a second. A lot of lag here. There we go. He just flew over my head. And I missed. And there's a grenade. Die. Die. And just to see how little damage the Hornet does. Next mission, I will be using the Valkyrie. I do have the Valkyrie now. So the second part of the finale, I will be using the Valkyrie. So you will see that in action for the first time ever. And another example of just, they're spawning up there, they're spawning on my left. Just never ends. Being shot. Again, where the hell did this guy come from? Go away. Kind of problematic when you only have one shot in your shotgun, one shot in the chamber. I just don't even have time to reload. Hi. Yeah, ammo wasn't a huge problem. It is placed in fairly convenient locations for this fight. By design, I'm sure. I mean, of course. And again, just terrible, terrible damage. You disappoint me, Hornet. I expected better from you. So as far as the game goes, as far as this playthrough went, I did enjoy this playthrough. There were times where I was getting a bit frustrated, just wanted it to be done, but I did enjoy this playthrough. I am definitely looking forward to my next playthrough. I can't wait to start churning those videos out and just dedicating a long period of time to combat, and that was my new trick. Whee! Into the stratosphere with you. I just have used pull so infrequently, I've yet to use it in a big open area where I could do that. I am really looking forward to using pull and then stuff like that. Like throw. When I can, on maybe an adept or something. Someday. If I get that far. So this is done. This first part. We do still have the second part of this mission. Or rather, this episode. There is also a second part to just Earth. Sorry if I'm being a bit confusing here.
I'm alright. You sure? But I won't be picking you up. I gotta land this bird quick. Get safe. Anything for you.
I think maybe when I'm done, when everything's done, maybe I'll do a review of the game. and just combine everything I've seen in all my playthroughs and my experience and what have you. But that will probably not be for a little while. And yeah, I just... so much pain.
Keep an eye out for their heavy weapon supplies.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate? Name that movie. This was actually not bad on the Vanguard, this part, because this part had a lot of cover. They generally only attacked from one side, so they didn't really show up behind me. And charging was nowhere near as dangerous just because there was cover everywhere. This Ravager is kind of problematic, but not for long. You know, watching this, that Hades cannon is a lot more disorienting just watching it than it is actually in the game when you're actually playing. It's giving me freaking seizures here. I have no idea why I just wasted a Claymore shot on a cluster of swarmers. Why not? There we go. Now just imagine if I had biotic detonations, how simple this would be. Or stasis, because I could stasis him, charge in, stasis with 200% cooldown, you know, stasis, charge. By the time that's done, I'll already be ready for another charge and just rinse and repeat. Something ridiculous. I didn't realize how hurt this Ravager was. I think Garrus had been working on him. I would have finished him off a while ago. He really didn't shoot at me that much, though. I don't know who he was shooting at throughout this. Didn't seem like it was me. Again, must have been Garrus. So, I am playing a bit more defensively than I usually would. I'm actually using pull fairly regularly at this point. It is very dangerous here. I mean, this is a very, very dangerous mission. All the way around. And, you know, on my engineer, I would say the hardest mission in the game was that, I talked about this a while ago, was that mission on Tuchanka, the one where you save the Turians, the very final part of that battle. But on my Vanguard, you know, it probably was the final mission. It was harder than that. I one-shotted that on the Vanguard, that save the Turian final fight thing. Sorry, it's difficult to describe this. But the final mission didn't like struggle, but didn't have a huge amount of trouble, but it was definitely harder. Very stressful at times. But I know what's coming. Next up is Banshee and a bunch of cannibals, and this was so easy on the Vanguard. Compared to my engineer, I had so much trouble with this on my engineer. Granted, a lot of that was stupidity and just not knowing what to do. I could have made it a lot easier on my engineer than it wound up being, but my Vanguard, it was nothing. Boom! The cane, ladies and gentlemen. You can do this a few different ways. I choose to use the cane to deal with the Banshee right from the get-go. I don't wait for a lot of cannibals to show up. I wait a little while, but not until there's a bunch ready to go. I want to ensure that the Banshee does not close. So, here we go. I waited for at least a couple cannibals to show up, but not a lot. And then it killed all my party members, and I knew it would, so I immediately rezzed them. And now I'm just playing the waiting game. You have to wait for the shuttle to come. I don't want to charge in the middle of all the cannibals, though. That seems rather pointless. Grenades are a problem, though. And these cannibals do very quickly flank you, as you can see. Two of them moving in position. They close quickly. They're very aggressive, so... And it seems like they come out pre-armored. You know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe on the final mission, the cannibals just start out with armor. Because I know for a fact that they had no opportunity to eat anybody. Maybe that's why it seems like, oh, they all have more life. Well, they do. Because they all have their weird pseudo-armor right from the get-go. So I'm setting up a warp bomb here. But I didn't use it for some reason. I guess I just didn't want to charge. So I blew them away. Maybe I was just excited about shooting people all over the place because I hadn't really done it much before. So the shuttle should be here in just a moment. And this was incredibly easy compared to my engineer again. This, as you are about to see, And I figured it would be. I didn't figure this would be difficult. They are all red bar enemies. I can close distances quickly, and so on and so on. And there's even a grenade to tell me it's time to go. And that's it. Done. Super simple. A charge to knock half of them away, a Nova to knock the other half away, and it's over. So thanks guys for watching. There is plot up to the end of this video, and then again the next video is all plot. It's like 30 minutes of it too, so if you want to see all of the final conversations with party members, check out that next video. Alright guys, have a good one.
You are, Commander.
Admiral.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, Joe.
It's good to see you.
And you're a sight for sore eyes.
How we looking?
Now that the heavy air defenses are dealt with, Hammer can land.
And not a moment too soon.
What's left of the Resistance is holding a forward operating base, but the Reapers are countering already. Once we regroup, it's going to be up to Hammer to take up the fight.
It must have been brutal here. Cut off from the rest of the Alliance.
It's been touch and go from day one. But once we figured out the Reapers were focusing on the major centers, it became easier to avoid direct contact.
Until London.
Yeah. We held back as long as we could, sending in recon teams. Lost a lot of good men planning this attack. But with soldiers like Major Coates, and knowing you'd bring us help, we held on.
Without you and your Resistance, we'd be dead in the water.
Yeah, the Admiral's being modest. He's the reason any of us are still alive.
Let's not start handing out medals just yet. This fight's just getting started, and Hammer better be ready for it.
They didn't start out together, but they're ready to stand side by side and win this war.
Good. That's what it's gonna take.
We'll get it done, Anderson.
I was born in London.
Really?
The entire galaxy united. Too bad it took the Reapers to bring us together.
Shepard's the one that brought them together.
That's exactly what I meant. I know you didn't like leaving, Shepard. But nobody could have accomplished what you've done.
It's good to be back home.
There's the FOB.
Looks good. Give Hammer the all clear.